Man. So I just watched the, I'm sure you guys all watched it too, Trump's Oval Office address about how crazy the Democrats are. They're blocking the wall. They don't want to open the government. Well, they want to open the government without border wall funding. It's a nightmare. I'm going to wait till a few of you guys get on here. Just insanity. Oh. Yeah. This is ridiculous. These people make me sick. I can't stand them. Like when they talk about this wall being immoral, I really wish that with what President Trump said, I wish they would have addressed his concerns. I wish they would have responded to him. All you fact check Trump. Let's fact check him. Let's fact check him. Let's fact check Trump. Ryan O'Neill, you are not the only one on here. I don't expect a lot of people to join live just because everybody's going live. I think Brandon Tatum's about to go live. There's just a lot of people covering it. I just came on to vent. Like, honestly, I could have just pre-recorded a video and then uploaded it just because I needed to talk about this. And, man, isn't it so obvious to people? Like, they don't care about this country. They hate President Trump. They would vote for Fidel Castro if he were running against Trump. That's how bad they hate him. That's how bad they hate Trump. They will run whatever campaign, smear him about everything. I'm watching, I just paused it. I was watching Fox News. Bernie Sanders responding. Bernie Sanders talking about small businesses are going to be impacted by this, the small businesses and the farmers. It's like, you're a socialist. What the hell do you care about a small business, Bernie? Shut up, man. They're so fake. Democrats are so fake. Say what you want about Trump. At least he's keeping it real about the border wall. At least he's keeping it real about what's going on at the southern border. All Democrats want to do is shift it. They're shifting it. They won't respond to anything. They won't talk about the officer that was just killed in California. They won't talk about Kate Steinle. They won't talk about Jamil Shaw Jr., Edwin Jackson, countless other people that I can't name who have had their lives affected or taken away because of illegal immigration. You notice how their response was, this is all on Trump. Trump can reopen the government so 800,000 employees can have their paychecks. They're like, Chuck Schumer said, yeah, let's reopen the government and then we'll secure the border. This is how they don't want to do it. They said, let's reopen the government and then we'll secure the border. Trump's like, no. Let's secure the border and then we'll reopen the government. So Trump literally has the leverage. And the fact that they claim to want to reopen, they claim to want to secure the border, but they want the government to be reopened and they want it separate, just means that they don't want it. Because if they wanted it, all they have to do is fund it. This is on the ball's in their court. As far as I'm concerned, the ball's in their court. I don't care if the government stays shut down, because you know what? The longer we have open borders, the more Americans are going to be affected by illegals coming in. Think about it. They're talking about how, they can't get their, some American citizens can't get food stamps. He's affecting our economy. I'm like, illegals coming in affects our economy. Building a wall fixes all of that. At least it goes a long way to fixing it. So the way that Trump hammered home, like, this officer just got killed. Look how many drugs are coming over. What about human trafficking? You claim to care about all citizens. We're a nation of immigrants, but you won't even speak to the problems that are actually facing illegal immigrants. Like, they're being incentivized to come here. California's sanctuary laws, all these sanctuary cities popping up all over the country. That is incentivizing people to come and break the law. And then you have criminals coming over. Think about it. Their position on having open borders, that's what MS-13 wants. MS-13 wants open borders. They never want to talk about the terrorist threat that always comes over. They just try to downplay this entire thing. They want this whole thing downplayed. The fact that they wouldn't even address it. They would not even address, what's actually going on at the border. They're just all just deflecting, just pushing it back on Trump. It's all on you, Trump. You're the one that's not doing it. You need to open it. They're like, this is the Trump shutdown. This is the Trump shutdown. They looked the American people in the eyes and said, we don't care about your border wall. We hate President Trump. This is all about political tribalism. Even though a lot of Democrats, they agree with the border wall. And if they didn't, if they're trying to posture just so they can oppose Trump, well, that's what the internet's for. We can pull up like, hey, look, Chuck Schumer, do you remember when you said this? So he can't back down off of that. After saying that, after he supported a wall, after he pounded the pavement and he talked about how we need to do something about it, Obama said the same thing. Hillary, Bill Clinton, countless Democrats have supported a border wall in the past. But because Trump wants a wall, they're like, walls are immoral. We can't do it. It's too expensive. You know, we got to open up the government to help out the American people. I'm just tired of the fakeness. You know, at least with Trump, when he's talking, I feel like what he was saying and the way he's saying it is it's genuine. When Pelosi's speaking, it's just so fake. It's just pandering. It's fake. But, you know, I guess we'll see how much longer this shutdown goes. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I never thought that we would see a day where both sides have dug their heels in. And Trump is the one who I support that. Democrats, they just look like idiots. They look like fools. They look like fools. With every single person that dies, with the drugs coming over, the human trafficking, the rocks being thrown at Border Patrol, like, how are they going to look people in the eye and say Trump is making a manufactured crisis? It's like there are literal videos on YouTube of a bunch of military-aged men storming the border. Men. Videos are online. You can see it for yourself. They're saying, no, don't believe your lying eyes. It's just a tiny amount of people. Trump's just manufacturing a crisis. Walls are immoral. We don't need to build a wall on our southern border. What is wrong with this guy? You reopen the government. Reopen the government so we can continue to block the wall. Give us what we want, and we promise we'll give you what you want. And they make it all about him, like it doesn't help everyone to have a wall. They make it sound like this is just about Trump. Trump is the only one that wants a wall. I mean, regardless if you love or hate Trump, a wall on our border helps everybody. You know, the way they try to downplay it, I can't believe that they're so bold and so confident that they could just go on TV, live TV, and just downplay it and just look the other direction and just punt the ball back to Trump. Like, yeah, Trump can reopen the government, give us what we want, you know, reopen it without border security. And they never have an actual solution. Every Democrat, every liberal that I've talked to, every liberal I've seen online, they're like, walls don't work. People can just, you know, throw a rope over. They can build a ladder. I'm like, what illegal is going to come to the border with a ladder? You're telling me you don't want a wall? Why don't you just say you don't want a wall? Just say you don't want a wall. But they never have an alternative. They're like, there's better ways to go about it. I'm like, okay, tell me more. Enlighten me. Tell me what you're going to do. What is a better solution than a physical freaking barrier? It feels so elementary to have to explain, like, you know, walls do work, even though you could technically find a way to get over the wall, it's still a deterrent. That's like saying, hey, if someone wants to break in your house, it doesn't matter if you have a door. I mean, why do you need it? Doors don't work. It's like, okay, so you're saying I don't need a deadbolt on there? You're saying I should just not have a door? Windows don't work? Gates don't work? Like, it's common sense. But they are fixated on nonsense because it's all about partisanship. It's all about opposing Trump. It's all about hating this president. They will let this country circle the drain and go completely down it. And if America falls, the world will fall because we keep this world going with our economy, with how much money we give out to the world. We give everyone money, but we don't secure our own borders. So what's the point of sending all this humanitarian aid to all these third world countries if it's a detriment to our country? It doesn't make any sense. It's like They're trying to put Band-Aids on everything. Trump is like, let's fix the entire problem. It's not like there's not already a wall down there. So if a wall is so immoral, are you saying you want to take down and tear down the rest of the wall in San Diego, the wall in El Paso? What are you saying, Nancy Pelosi? It makes me so mad that they took back the House, because, guys, it's going to be a long 2 years of obstruction, endless investigations, subpoenas, trying to impeach the guy. It's just going to be. And then you got the crazies, you got the radical left-wing part. This Democrat Party is split. You got socialists and the radicals, the Islamic chick talking about, we're going to impeach the motherfucker. And then you got Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, or whatever her name is. I hate trying to say her name. It's so long. But she's talking about 70% tax increase and, the new Green Deal or Green New Deal, whatever she's talking about, comparing herself to Abe Lincoln and FDR. She's a nutcase. She's like, at this point, she's low-hanging fruit. I don't even know why so many people are spending time on her. It's like, if she's an idiot, why are so many people focused on her, talking about her? It's like people are infatuated with her. She's obviously dumb. It looks like she's a celebrity more than she's a politician. It feels like you're watching Hollywood. It's like a reality TV show. She's all on Instagram, all these live streams. It's like, why don't you go do your job? You have constituents to represent. I think what's scary is the people who believe her little utopian concepts that she preaches. That's crazy. Could you imagine electing her, seeing her on TV and be like, she's going to give me free education and free health care, and housing is a human right. So all that's going to be taken care of. And guess what? I don't have to pay for it. And she's going to, Green New Deal. We're going to totally just change the way we do everything. She's got it all figured out. She's literally talking like Stalin or something. It's just, you have that wing of the Democrat Party. So you have that, and then you have old wrinkle-faced Nancy Pelosi that's been in Congress forever, Chuck Schumer. These people, they're career politicians. They know exactly what to say to stay right where they are. Let's do just enough, but not enough to make a difference so we can stay comfortable. And then we're going to talk about this government shutdown. Here's another point. Why is Congress able to collect a paycheck during a shutdown? Why is Pelosi going to Hawaii? But then they're like, oh, what about the poor Americans, the men and women who protect our country, the men and women that are being affected by mean Donald Trump shutdown? It's like, okay, well, you got a pretty hefty salary. Why don't you fork over some dollars? Why don't you help them out of their situation? Put your money where your mouth is, Democrats. You care about the people. You care about people so much, and Trump hates people. Trump just doesn't want brown people over here. That's what it is. But Democrats, you care about everyone. You want to do it. Okay, well, put your money where your mouth is, Bernie. You got 3 houses, Bernie. Why don't you let some people stay with you? Why don't you donate some of your salary, which is our tax dollars, by the way? Why don't you take that money and donate it to the people that are dealing with the shutdown? I don't know. Maybe this is just me being hard right wing or super conservative. I don't know. But if it were me and I were working for Congress, if I were working for the government, period. Okay. First of all, I know what I'm getting into. I know what I'm signing up for. I'm not saying it's right that people are out of a job or they're not getting paid, but it's also like, if I join the government, I'm like, okay, there's some volatility there. I'm going to put some money aside for, say, a shutdown, a rainy day account. I'm going to plan my life around the job that I have. It's possible, just like any other job, I'm in construction. Let me make sure I have some money aside in case I fall and break my leg and I can't go to work. Same thing with the government. It's out of their control that it's shut down, but it's also for the better of the country that Trump does exactly what he's doing. And so if you're gonna work for the government, you kind of have to roll with the punches. It is what it is. You could also push back on the people in Congress that are still collecting a paycheck during this time. It just doesn't make sense. None of this makes sense. When emotions override logic, you get exactly what we have right now, because they supported a wall. They wanted to fund a wall. But because it's coming out of Trump's mouth that we need a wall, and he's actually serious about it, he's not selling it to people, he actually wants to do it, then they're like, oh no, I can't do it because Trump. I can't do it. I would feel so much better. I would have more respect for them if they're like, you know, we would do this if it weren't for Donald Trump. Everything else they've said about him has just been a lie, and it's just more and more people are starting to see it. It's like, well, doesn't Trump have a point? I mean, is everything he's saying a lie? Like, really? You're going to fact check him on someone that died? Oh, let's fact check Trump and his address. Let's type it in and see if there was an officer killed in California. Let's see if sanctuary cities are really used as a magnet to bring people up from Central and South America. Let's look this up. Let's look at how many people are crossing the border. But then they want to downplay it, make it sound like, oh, only like 6 terrorists got across. You know, they I guess they fact checked Sarah Huckabee Sanders. I don't know. I was listening to Ben Shapiro today, and he was saying that they caught Sarah Sanders in a lie where she basically conflated all people coming over illegally or terrorists. Like, most terrorists are coming over by airline, right? Because they're coming from the Middle East. They're not crossing the southern border, although some of them are. The majority are coming by airplane. They fact checked her on that. Ben Shapiro's like, you don't have to lie about it. I mean, just tell it exactly like it is. If they want to downplay and say only 6 terrorists have been caught at the border, it's like, okay, the government's job is to make sure no terrorists come over here. Don't try to downplay it. Say, oh, she said it was 4,000, but it's only 6. Okay, how many terrorists does it take to kill people? 1. How many terrorists hijacked the planes for 9/11? It doesn't matter how many people are coming over. It's the fact that they are coming over. It's the fact that we need a physical barrier to stop it. Let me give you guys a shout out. I'm on a roll right here. Super chat. Redhead Avenger, thank you for the super chat. God has borders with walls and only one way in. You cannot jump the fence and skip the gate. Again, this is all just straight up and down common freaking sense. I'm looking to buy a house this year, okay? You know what? One thing I'm looking for in my new house? A backyard with a fence. Why? Why do I need a fence in my new house? Could it be because I have a dog and that's the best way to keep him in? Have a parameter where he can run around, but he's also safe? Could it be that fences work? Or no, fences are immoral because, you know, my dog should roam free, and having a fence is just a bad idea. I should probably not have any windows or walls or a door on my house because it's immoral. You know, it's immoral. I should be able to people should be able to just come and go as they please. It's immoral to want to protect your stuff and your belongings and your loved ones. You can't make this up. It feels like we are living in a simulation when you think about how crazy all of this is. It is the most common sense solution to curb and deter illegal immigration. People will not be coming over here knowing you're going to have to climb a 50-foot wall while you're 8 months pregnant instead of swimming across the Rio Grande or floating across it. You can't make this stuff up, man. You cannot make this stuff up. NY Badge Boy said Trump is Israel first. I don't know about that, man. He's America first. Drug test for Congress. Hey, everybody, hit the like button. Please do hit the like button. I got 86 people watching. Please give me a thumbs up. And while I got you guys live here, I'm going to give you some shout outs because I got some new donations. And I want to acknowledge those people that joined my Patreon. So Norman Farr, Robert Lee Bale, and Dina Marie. Thank you guys for the donations and for the joining my Patreon. Also, Redhead Avenger, thank you again for the super chat. Guys, I just don't know what else to do. It's just, you see a lot of other YouTubers making videos, talking about the shutdown, talking about the wall every day. It gets tiring, honestly. It's exhausting. It's like, are we going to build the damn thing or not? Because I don't want to waste my breath and waste time making videos every day. Everybody knows what's going on. Everybody, regardless if you're into politics or not. Donald Trump forces everybody to pay attention to politics because he's so polarizing. They spend all day, all night thinking about him. He's living in most people's brains rent-free. Everyone's just thinking about this dude. And it's like, Everyone knows what's going on. So do I really need to report on it? It's like they have the money to build the wall. Okay. We have the fund the wall, which Trump should have mentioned that. Why didn't Trump mention? See, this is why maybe some people, he should read his Twitter or something. He should really talk to us. It's like, hey, what's one thing, Mike, that I should bring up when I give my address? I don't know. One thing he could have brought up is how this Officer Singh in California was a legal immigrant. He could have highlighted that story, talking about he came in the country the right way, served in law enforcement, left behind a 5-month-old baby. I think he might have mentioned that, but he didn't mention the fact that he was a legal immigrant and that the monster who took his life had 2 DUIs, had previously been deported, but because of sanctuary laws in California protecting criminals, again, incentivizing criminals, like, hey, you can break the law and stay here. You get a DUI and not go to jail, and ICE won't deport you. If you're an American citizen, if you get a DUI, what's going to happen to you? Is there a sanctuary for American citizen if they do that? But that's the thing. Trump should have brought that up. Okay, another thing he should have mentioned was the fund the wall. He should have called that out, because I don't know if a lot of people know about it. If he had mentioned fund the wall, like, look, you're going to tell me that the citizens don't want a wall? Look how much money they have raised. Just crowdsourcing, crowdfunding this money. We don't need the government. But the fact of the matter is, we have a government. We pay taxes. They have the money to fund the wall. So fund the wall. That's the way. That's all I'm saying. Thanks for the super chat. These chats are going pretty fast. Chris Bacon, appreciate it. Appreciate it. Yes, it's crazy that we spend so much money overseas defending other countries' borders, but we don't defend our own. And the fact that Democrats, they don't give a damn about you. They don't care. I see some people, NY Bad Boy, he's over there trolling, talking about Israel. Look, I don't know about that. All I know is the money that we pay in taxes is not going towards securing our borders, which tells me they want the country to fall. They want the country to fall. If the country falls, so do a lot of other countries. How many countries are we funding or helping fund their military? We fund Israel's military, but they don't need us. Israel has their own military. But places like, Sweden, and maybe it's Norway, I don't know. The reason why they're able to run their little utopian societies is because they don't really have a defense budget. They're not engaged in wars. Well, how many people do they have there? What, it's like 6 million people in some of those tiny little European countries, these homogenous European countries that don't have open borders. Yeah, of course they're able to do that. But they're paying like 60-70% in taxes. You can't introduce that over here. I'm getting scatterbrained, guys, because I'm talking about Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, her little her 60 Minutes interview. She is an idiot. She really is. That's why I'm not going to attack her too much, because it's, again, low-hanging fruit, but which talks about how we can spend our money, and we could be more like these Nordic countries. I'm like, these Nordic countries are going to fall if we fall, because it's going to be a domino effect if the United States falls. So I don't know, guys. I could just continue going in circles on this. You guys see how crazy the Democrats are. You see how careless they are. You see that they think they're smarter than Trump. They think that he doesn't know what he's doing. He has the leverage. They're saying, reopen the government, Trump. All Trump is saying is, you guys hold all the power. I want the government open like you guys do. See, Trump is winning because they're saying they want the government to reopen. Trump wants the government to reopen too. Trump is saying, but I want a wall. I want border security. Democrats are saying, yeah, so do we. And so he's calling their bluff by saying, okay, well, let's fund it. Let's get some funding for it right now, and then we'll reopen the government. So the ball is literally in their court. Right conservative said, oops. keep the government shut down indefinitely. Useless anyways. I thought that they somebody said non-essential government employees. Like, what does that mean? What are some non-essential government programs? I mean, I guess maybe they're talking about like national parks and stuff. I don't know. Maybe that's a sign we don't need national park staff. I mean, I could see a reason why we do, but it's also wasted taxpayer dollars. Like, where does that rank on the scale of priorities? And the list of priorities, where does having Yellowstone National Park rank? I get it. We want to protect the environment, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, get that. Do we own that? Like, think about what they do to collect taxes and stuff already. There's a lot of, now that I think about it, now that my brain is turning, like, there's a lot of non-essential government employees. Think about the people that do the meter checking and stuff. There's just so many ways that they nickel and dime us. How much tax money do they collect from us every year and do nothing with it? You wonder where it goes. You wonder where it goes. Right Conservative said he just did a live stream. I missed it, man. There's so many people live streaming right now. I don't doubt that there's at least 3 or 4 other big name YouTube. I'm surprised I have this many people watching right now, because I know there's been a lot of people are live. Mine is Jamal, Will Johnson, Brandon Tatum's live. Man, I don't know, guys. I guess we'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. How much longer will the government be shut down? I mean, I feel for the people that are kind of caught in the crosshairs of it. But again, this is on the Democrats. All they have to do is fund the wall. Give the man what he wants. Give him, because otherwise he's giving what you want, which is reopening the government, so then you can just stonewall him for the next 2 years. You just be able to stonewall him, which works to our favor anyway. It works in favor of the American people. When they see Democrats, all they want to do is obstruct. They don't want to talk about anything that makes people's lives better. All they want to do is talk about opposing Trump and then infighting with their little radical far left socialist wing. They're not providing any solutions. Everything they want to do is literally anti-Trump. So that will be glaring come 2020. But again, it's like, okay, that helps us to see the Democrats obstructing and blocking and just not getting anything done, despite what they campaigned on, healthcare for all and all this. Okay, they're going to look dumb, but then it's also like they're getting their way, because illegals will flood in. They can flip some of these states blue by 2020. Then it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if we have open borders, if we're doing everything else. We're trying to pass all these bills and make everyone's lives better, prison reform, all this stuff. That's great, but what does it matter if illegals come over and drive down our wages? They're bringing drugs over. They're all that other stuff that just detracts from our country. They're not learning English. There's just you could just make an entire list of why having open borders will destroy our country and makes everything else not worth fighting for. So that's why this is so critical that we get this wall open. All right, guys, I'm going to bed. I'm so tired. I can't continue doing this, but fund the wall. Right Conservative, the government budget is $4.407 trillion. I know, it's huge. It's a drop in the bucket for that border wall. Oh, man. I'm not even going to read that dude's comment. All right, guys, I'm signing off. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up and follow me on social media. And I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or the next video. All right, you guys have a good night.